Hey, hi all. Good afternoon. Welcome to the SQL demo class for the weekend batch. So hope my voice is audible and the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So this is a weekend batch. We are going to start from today. It's a demo class today. And the batch timing is like Saturday and Sunday. Let me note it down. SQL weekend batch. Saturday and Sunday. Timing will be 3 to 4:30 p.m. IST. The course duration will be around 2 months. Okay. And it will be purely live session, interactive session. You have full freedom to ask question at any point of time. The session will start from scratch. There's no prerequisite needed. And let me show you the syllabus. These are the topics which we'll be covering in this course. So we'll start with the basics of SQL and then the different comparison operators, the different aggregate functions, okay? And then the logical operators, the different type of constraints which we have, the different clauses, set operators, joins, window functions, and these are the miscellaneous topics. And these are the conceptual questions which will be covered in this course, okay? So this is about the syllabus and the target audience for this course are. I will request everyone to go on mute. If you have any question, you can unmute and ask. Target audience will be data analyst, data engineer, SQL or ETL developer, Power BI developer, and then ETL tester, and then business analyst. So these are the target audience for this course. And I have, as I have mentioned, like the course will start from scratch. There's no prerequisite needed. Even if you are from a non-technical background, it's fine. So before I proceed further, do you have any question? Any question from your end? No? Okay. And the recording will be shared after each and every class. Okay. The validity of recording will be 2 years after the completion of the course. And this is purely a hands-on session. What we will be teaching you, that will be covered with the practical examples. So that's why we don't have any PPT. We will not run through you through the PPT, but we'll explain you each and every concept by executing the code. So just one example I want to show you, like how I cover this. So this is for the previous batch I'm showing you. So like date wise, what all topics are covered, it will be shown to you. And each and everything, what it will be covering, we will explain you like how at the back end, the SQL engine is executing your query and you're getting the output. Okay, and this sheet will be shared with you. During the class, you don't have to make a note of anything. Whatever code the queries will be covering during the class, it will be shared. This workbook will be shared, assignment will be shared, and recording will be shared. The 4 documents will be shared with you after each and every class. Fine then, do you have any question? An humble request, Please make the session interactive. Ask questions. Don't hesitate in asking questions. Okay. Fine then. I'm going to start this demo class today. Okay. Uh, does anybody knows why SQL is that much important in the IT industry these days? Any idea? Anyone? Can you hear me, guys? I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Any idea why SQL is very important these days? It's like bread and butter in the IT industry these days. Any idea why? Okay.
We have limitation on SQL. Sorry, we have limitation on Excel. That's why.
Okay, that's correct. That's one of the right reasons. Okay, we have limitations on Excel. So that's why SQL will help us. Any other thought? Why SQL?
The data will store in correct manner in the table, so it will be
Hmm.
easily access if you
Okay.
want.
Okay, good. See, I will tell you the history behind this. So after 2015 or 14, we have seen like the volume of data, it has increased like anything, okay, in the IT industry or in any project because of a lot of social media platforms, because of e-commerce applications, right? You can imagine the volume of data which is getting generated on any e-commerce platform on a daily basis, like Amazon or Flipkart, correct? Similarly, you can you can imagine like the volume of data which is getting generated on any social media platform on a daily basis. So now the company, they're looking for someone who can store those data, who can process those data, who can analyze those data, right? So that's why we are looking for the companies are looking for SQL expert because SQL has that capability. Okay, you can store data, you can process data, you can analyze data, you can visualize data. So all this means if you want to play with data, you can do that with the help of SQL. So that is why nowadays you go for any job profile, especially the one which I have mentioned here. So they will ask you, first of all, the questions based on SQL. Hope this is clear. So that's why SQL is in a huge demand these days in IT industry. Or to a certain level, I can tell you without SQL, it's very difficult to survive in the IT industry these days. Okay. And not the theoretical knowledge of SQL means we should know SQL, the in-depth understanding of SQL, so that we should be able to write, we should be able to solve the business problems. Okay. We'll start with the basics. Okay, I'm assuming that you all don't know anything about SQL, so we'll start the basics of SQL. Okay. Suppose, let's say, take the example of any e-commerce application. Let's say Amazon. Okay. Suppose we are maintaining the Amazon database. Fine. So in the Amazon database, typically they'll be having something like customer ID. When you place an order on Amazon app, so each one of us has a customer ID, right? So I'm in shortcut, I've written as cust ID, that is a customer ID. And then we'll be having customer name. Okay. And then the location of customer, and let's say product, and let's say the amount. Okay. Amount means how much you paid. Is this clear? Now from this group, I will take the example. Suppose Gautam is one customer. Sorry. Gautam. Is the font visible clearly?
Yes, it is.
Can you little bit enlarge?
Is it fine now? Or you want me to increase it further?
Yes, It is fine.
How is it now? Okay. So suppose Gautam is a customer. So Gautam will be having some ID, customer ID. Let's say one. Now let's say Gautam, you're from which location? Your home city?
I'm from Bangalore.
Bangalore?
Yeah.
Bangalore. So Gautam is for Bangalore. Let's say Gautam purchased a mobile for 15,000. Next, let's say we have Avinya. Avinya, you are from which location?
I'm from Indore, sir.
Indore. And suppose Bhavinya purchased a laptop for, let's say, 40,000. Okay. And let's say then we have Disha.
I'm from
Disha,
Pune.
Pune. Okay. And Disha purchased, what you want to purchase from Amazon, Disha?
iPhone.
iPhone. Okay, good. So Disha purchased iPhone maybe for 80,000. Okay. And I will take, okay, let's go with these three examples as of now. And let's say we have a column gender as well. Okay. Bottom is male, female, female. Okay. So something like this, data will be saved at the backend of the Amazon database. Obviously, we'll be having some other columns as well. Like we'll be having the transaction dates, we'll be having the order ID, we'll be having quantity, the discount, many other things will also be there, right? So just to keep it simple, I have taken few columns only. Okay. Now, I have saved this on an Excel sheet. Now, my question to you, do you think it's possible that the engineers who are working in Amazon, they can save all this customer data in an Excel sheet? Is it possible?
No.
No,
Why? What's the problem?
data is in huge, right? Sometimes.
Right, right. So data means it's in millions, right? Millions of transactions happens on any e-commerce platform on a daily basis, right? Whether it's Amazon, Flipkart, or anyone. So literally, it's not possible you can save all this data on an Excel sheet. Understood this point?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
that's why we need a database where we can store this huge volume of data. Okay. Now we have different database, like we have Oracle, we have Microsoft SQL Server, we have Netezza, Teradata, and then we have a Snowflake, then we have Postgres. Swapnali, you are in the Python batch, no? Am I correct?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. So, okay, you are repeating SQL, or this is the first time you are taking this course?
I am repeating. I'm thinking
Okay, okay.
actually.
Okay, okay, ठीक है, no issues. So fine then, no issues. So this is the different databases we have, okay. But if you know SQL, you can execute the SQL queries on any database. I'll be teaching you on Microsoft SQL Server and Oracle. But suppose in your project you're working on a Snowflake, so don't think, oh, Tanvir is teaching on Microsoft SQL Server, but in my project we are working on Snowflake, so this will not help me. No. If you know SQL, you can write the SQL queries on any platform your wish. Hope this point is clear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you know SQL, you can write queries on any platform, whether it is Oracle, SQL Server, Microsoft, Snowflake, or anyone. Okay. Now, during this course, I'll be teaching mostly on Oracle and Microsoft SQL Server, but you have full freedom. You can write queries or you can practice on any platform, your wish. Okay. Now, this is the sample data I have taken, and I have created this on an Excel sheet. But as we discussed, the Excel has certain limitations. So we can't store huge volume of data in Excel, right? And that's why we have to store this in a database. So this is the Microsoft SQL Server database. I will tell you how to install this. I will share the link and you can install it. Or if your question is, "Hey, Tanvir, I'm working on official laptop in my company, they will not allow me to install it," then I will explain you the browser-based version. Just in Google, you have to type Oracle Live SQL. I will explain you that part, and you can practice on it. So we'll discuss that at a later point of time. As of now, let's focus on it. So this is the database by Microsoft. It's known as Microsoft SQL Server. Okay. So here we'll discuss how we can store this data. So to store data, first of all, you have to create a table. Okay. Like if you want to stay somewhere, suppose you are transferred from Delhi to Pune. So what will be your top priority? Search for a house, right? Correct, no? First of all, you have to search for a house. तो पहले घर ढूंढना पड़ेगा. So similarly, when you want to store data, the top priority is to create a table, because table is something where you can store data. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right now, like if you want to stay, so you have to search for a house, right? Similarly, if you want to store data, you have to create a table. Now, how to create a table in database? That's what we'll try to understand. So for that, you have to write create, and then you have to write table. So the moment you will write create and table, the backend engine of SQL, it will understand that user wants to create a table. Is that clear? And then you have to give a name to this table, like how we used to give name to our house, right? Correct, no? So similarly, you have to give a name to this table. You can give any name, your wish. Okay, there's no restriction on it. There are certain rules and regulations which we have to follow, but as far as the table name is concerned, you can give any name. Like you can give the table name as sales table, customer table, order table, profit table, tax table, revenue table, your wish. Okay. So let's say I will create a Amazon table here. Okay. So you have to write create table and then the table name. Got it? And then within parentheses, you have to mention the columns. Now see here, these are known as columns. These are known as columns, also known as fields, also known as attributes. So if I'm telling columns, it means I'm talking about these columns. Or maybe you can tell them as a fields, you can tell them attributes, they all are the same. So if someone will ask you, what are the columns in this table? You can tell customer ID, customer name, location, product, amount, and gender. These are the column in this Amazon table. Hope this is clear so far,
Yes, it is.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Please ask question if you have any. Don't hesitate in asking questions, okay? So in few projects, people, they call this as columns. In few projects, call this as a fields. In few projects, they call this as an attributes, okay? Now, these are known as records. This is first record, this is second record, this is third record. You can call them as record or you can call them as rows. They both are same, your wish. Okay. So in this Amazon table, how many columns we have?
Six.
Six columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? We have 6 columns. And how many rows we have? 1, 2.
Three.
Got it? So we have 6 columns and 3 rows. Hope this is clear. Okay. Now, I have written here create table Amazon, which means I want to create a table with the name Amazon. Now see, if you want to construct a house, so you have to explain to that architect now how many bedroom you want, how many balcony you want, and how many dining rooms you want, right? So you have to tell the exact configuration, correct? How many floors you want. So similarly, when you're creating table, you have to tell to the SQL engine, okay, in this table, how many columns you want. It means what are the name of the columns. So if you see here, these are the columns, right? So you have to mention it here. I want these columns. And they should be separated by comma. So when you will write this, the engine will understand, yo, user wants me to create an Amazon table with these columns. Oh, this is clear? And
Yes.
good. And there is no restriction on the number of columns in a table. Like in this Amazon table, right now we have 6 columns, right? So even you can create a table with 100 columns, it's allowed. You can create a table with 200 columns, it's allowed. You can create a table with 20 columns. Even you can create a table with 1 column, that's also allowed. So there is no restriction on the number of columns in a table. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. So when I'm creating this table, I have mentioned each and every column, right? Okay. Now, after this, you have to mention here that what type of data you want to store in these columns. If I'm telling what type of data, so if this is customer ID, we're storing numbers, right? Or integers. So whenever you want to store numbers or integers, you have to mention int. Which means you're telling SQL engine that in this Amazon table, the customer ID column, I want to store integers. Okay. Now in this customer name column, what you're storing? Alphabets, right? So when you're storing alphabets, you have to mention as varchar. Varchar means variable character. 50. You can write here 50 or 100 or anything you wish. I will explain you what is the meaning of it. Actually, this 50 means maximum it can store 50 characters, not more than that. Okay. So when you want to store alphabets, you have to mention varchar 50. Got it? Now, location column, what you're storing in location? Alphabets, right? So when you want to store alphabets, again, you have to mention varchar. Got it? Now, can you tell me for product, what should be the data type?
Varchar.
Varchar. Good. So whenever you have to store alphabets, A data type should be varchar. Hope this is clear, right?
If we have a mix like integer as well as character, then what
Hmm.
should be the data type?
Okay, good question. Like if you have alphanumeric, like PAN card number, right? Or
Yeah,
passport
yes.
number. So in that case, again, you have to use varchar.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have
Yes.
alphanumeric, means it's mix of numbers and alphabets, then you have to use varchar. Okay. Now, amount column. What you will use here? Data type?
Integer.
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 Right. Because amount column you're storing number. So you have to mention integer, int in shortcut. Gender,
Varchar.
varchar. So I hope this is clear so far. Okay.
Yes.
So this is a syntax to create a table and to mention the columns which you want along with the data type. These data type are mandatory like int, varchar, varchar. These are mandatory. If you not mention the data type, it will throw error message. I will show you that. Okay. So then what you have to do, you have to give the semicolon at the end and then select it. Got it? And then here you could see one execute button is there. Can you see this execute button?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to click on it. Now, what is the message we are getting here? There is already an object named Amazon in the database. So
Yeah.
SQL engine is telling me that Tanvir, there is already an object with the name Amazon in the database. Okay. And I forgot to introduce myself actually. So myself, Mohammed Tanveer Khan. So I have around 15 years of experience in the IT industry. Okay, so that's my introduction. And like I started my academy for the last 5 years, I think 4 to 5 years. And then I have taught for other MNCs as well. I was part of education and research team of Infosys. Then I started my academy, and I'm working as a consultant as well. Okay, so that's what about me. So this is the data type. So I'm getting this error message. There is already an object named Amazon in the database. The reason is in the
Like,
database.
I have one question.
Yeah, Nikhil.
So the question is, what about the special characters? They goes in a varchar or
Varchar.
okay.
Varchar. Yeah. I will show you all those things, but good question.
Thank you.
Alphanumeric, special characters, all those things you can store in varchar data type. Varchar means variable character. When we will discuss about the data type, then I will explain that in detail. Okay.
Okay.
Just giving you a heads up now about this. Okay. Now I'm getting this error message. So I'm trying to explain you what is the reason for this error message. Actually, as per the rule in a database, you can create only one table with the same name. It means if you want to create more than one table with the same name, it is not allowed. So if I will show you, if you see on the left side, can you see here Amazon? Can you see here written Amazon?
Yes.
Yes.
I know it's the font is very small, but it means already we have a table with the name Amazon in the database. So if I'm trying to create one more table with the same name, so it's not allowed. So this is a violation of database rule. All this is clear?
Yes.
right? So as per the rule, you can create only one table with one name. You cannot create more than one table with the same name. That is why the SQL engine is telling me, Gitanveer, there is already an object named Amazon in the database. So you cannot create another. So now what to do? Now I'm left with two options. Either I change the name of this table from Amazon to maybe any other name. Let's say Amazon New or Amazon One, any other name. I have to change the name. Or I can delete this previously created tables. Got it? So these are the two options. But if you're working in project, you don't have freedom. You can choose any one option. You cannot choose as per your freedom or as per your convenience. With whom you will contact? Any idea?
Database architect.
You can ask database architect, or you can ask your client, or you can ask the business analyst. So never make any assumption. So Disha, are you working in any project?
Yes, and we don't ask business analyst because I'm business analyst and nobody asked me.
Okay. So what's the total experience?
It's 4 years.
4 years. Okay, perfect. So may I know the reason you want to join this course? Your expectations?
Um, Currently, I know that where the data is stored and how to read the store proc and all. Expectation is to also provide solutions in case
Okay.
of any, yeah. Because
Okay.
currently I'm just relying on the developers that whatever uh,
Mhm.
their solution they are providing. So yep, that's
Okay.
the
Okay.
goal.
Okay. Got it. So actually, earlier the expectations from the business. I started my career in 2011. So during those days, the expectation from the business analyst was a business analyst should know end to end the nut and bolt of the business. Okay, like how the business is performing. But nowadays, the expectation is a business analyst should be techno-functional. It means apart from the domain, you should also have some technical expertise because earlier we have faced challenge because of this. Suppose a business analyst is there and he doesn't know the basics of SQL, so he has to document something, so he will fail there. So that is why now the requirement has changed that the business analyst should be techno-functional. That is why now for the role of business analyst, they're asking SQL, they're asking Python. I think you will agree with what I told when
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
training. Okay, so that's good. Thank you. So we have two options. Either I can change the name of this table or I delete this table. But this has to be clearly discussed either with the client or the solution architect. And in few projects, we discuss this with business analyst as well because they are the one who documents everything. Okay. So let's say, so changing name is very simple. You just write Amazon one and then you execute it again. So now the table will be created. It's very simple. But suppose your client is telling, okay, no, Tanvir, I want the new table name to be Amazon only. And if you have any other table with that name, you delete it. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to execute this command, drop table Amazon. Now, I will not explain you as of now okay, how this query works because if I will show you our agenda, our syllabus, so we have a separate session on it. Where is that? Lead drop one page. Yeah. So when we'll discuss this, I will explain in detail like how the drop works. Okay. So as of now, just understand that whenever you have to delete a table, you can execute this command drop table and the table name. Okay. So now when I will execute this, so when you're getting this, it means that table, the previously created Amazon table has been deleted. Now this table has been deleted. If I will refresh this, I should think it should be removed now. Now see, you don't have that Amazon table, right? It has been deleted. So now I can, if I will execute this query now, so now see, this table has been created. So we have successfully created a table Amazon in the database with these columns: customer ID, customer name, location, product, and all these things. Hope it is clear so far.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So am I going too slow? Can I increase the pace or is it fine?
Yes, it is fine.
Fine. Okay. Now you can ask a question. Okay, Tanvir, you have curated this table, but can you prove it? Can you show the structure to us if you have curated this, right? So whenever you want to see the structure of a table, you have to execute this command, sp_help, and then the table name. So when you will execute this command, it will show you the table structure. So you could see here, I will not explain each and every parameter as of now. The important one I will show you, like we have the customer ID, right? You could see here, we have the customer name, we have the location, we have the product, we have the amount, we have the gender. And these are the data type. Ignore the remaining columns, okay? So this proves this Amazon table has been created in the database. Hope this is clear.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And please don't make a note of anything. Everything will be shared with you after the class, okay? Now we have created the table. So what next? You constructed a house. So obviously now you will go and stay there, right? Or you will rent it, anything. So now the next step is to store data in this Amazon table. So whenever you have to store data, you have to write this command, insert into table name and the values. Okay, and don't worry, don't bother, okay, oh my God, a lot of commands are there. No, actually we'll be using this n number of times. So automatically everything will be by hearted. You don't have to mug up anything. You don't have to remember nothing. Okay. So when you want to insert data, you have to execute this command, insert into Amazon values. It means you're telling to the SQL engine, I want to store some values into this Amazon table. Okay. So now you have to mention the values. So how you can mention, give the bracket here, and whatever values you have, let's say you have this value, first value. So now you can mention the values here. Customer ID is how much? 1. So you write 1 here. Customer name is bottom from here. Location is Bangalore. Product is Mumbai. Amount is 15,000. Gender is male. Got it? So like this, you can store data. Few important points which you have to take care. The sequence matters here. If I'm telling sequence matters, it means I'm telling the first column here is customer ID, so it should be customer ID first. Second is customer name, then second value should be the customer name value. Third is location, then there should be the location. You cannot swap it. It's not allowed. Got it? And second important point is the columns for which data type is varchar, those values must be in inverted quotes, right? You can check here, Gotham, it's in inverted quote. Bangalore, inverted quotes. Mobile, inverted quotes. Mail, inverted quotes. Oh, this is clear,
Yes.
right? And then you have to select it and click on this execute button. So getting here one row affected, it means one row has been inserted in this Amazon table. Okay. Any questions so far?
So if you do not put the varchar value in inverted commas, or if you try to put an int value in varchar,
Hmm.
it will throw an error.
Yeah, it will throw error. I will show you that just after this. Good question. It will throw error. Let me show that right now. Suppose, what is the next value? Suppose now I want to store ID2, Slovenia, location is indoor, product is laptop, amount is 40,000, and there is email. Now, suppose in this case, let's say for the name Bhavinya, I forgot to give the inverted quotes. Okay. Now I'm trying to run this. See, just throwing error message. Got it? So if a column you have mentioned as a varchar, it must be in inverted quotes. Is this point clear?
Yes, it is also showing you how to write it. Invalid
Right.
one name.
Yeah. But see the error message, there's no guarantee for it actually. Okay. The same code, suppose if I will execute an Oracle now, so you will get some other error message. If I will execute on Snowflake, I will get some other error message. So I cannot give you any guarantee for the error message. Okay, because it depends on the internal architecture, how it has been framed or coded. Okay, but yes, it will throw error message. Hope this is clear to everyone. You all understood this point?
What if we want to insert any blank values then? Like every time, like some fields are not mandatory to fill any form, right? So if that entry is blank, then
Good question. Many times it happens that you have to enter blank or you have to enter null. So we have a separate session on it. Okay, null blank. See. Here we will discuss in detail how to insert null, how to insert blank. But to quickly answer your question, in that case, what you have to do, just give the inverted quotes like this. The engine will understand here this is a blank. Okay.
it's applicable to number also, or like integer also.
Yes, there also. I will show you that. I'm just coming to it. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
this point is clear. Inverted quotes is mandatory. Okay. Now, okay, before I proceed further, okay, sorry, one minute. Now you can, okay, so now I'm keeping this Bhavinya in inverted quotes. Now, please verify this. Now this is inserted, no? Right? Now you can ask a question, okay, when you inserted two records, but Can you show those records has been inserted? Can you prove it? Can you show the records to us, right? So for that, what you have to do, you have to write this code. Select the star from table name. The meaning of this code is select means to display. What's the meaning of select? To display. Okay. The star means all the columns from Amazon. It means you're telling the SQL engine to please display all the columns from the Amazon table. Now I'm executing it. Check the output. Are you getting all the columns from this Amazon table?
Yes.
Okay. So far we have studied how to create a table, how to insert data, and how to check the data. Any question here? Okay. Now suppose your client is telling, okay, then will show me only customer name and location. Okay. Then what you have to do, you have to write select customer name, comma, location from Amazon. So it means you're telling to the SQL engine, you just show me customer name and location from the Amazon table. Now check the output. You're getting only customer name and location. So it means you can customize this select. Whatever you want to display, you just keep those columns in select, and the engine will display only those columns to you. Hope this is clear.
One question, Tanvi.
Yes.
This is clear, but this in MS SQL, why this is giving a red mark
No,
under
you
that
ignore it. There is no concept for it.
means that
You can
customer
ignore it.
first name and location.
No, there's no logic for it.
Okay.
You can ignore it. Okay.
I have
It's
a
not
doubt,
like
sir.
it has error message. Okay. And ignore it. Yeah, next question. What are you telling?
Sir, do we have to write insert into Amazon values every time?
Not every time. You have a shortcut as well. You can write insert into Amazon values and you can give all this one by one. I will show you that. So that is also applicable, but that format doesn't works in all the database. Okay, but yes, the answer is yes. You can do like that also. But I will tell you one thing, practically what we do in project, because imagine we have millions of transactions, right? So it's not feasible now. Every time you will write insert into and you will write each and every record, right? It's not practically possible. So we have a concept of loader. Okay, that's a different topic. So what you have to do, you have to keep the entire data in an Excel sheet and you have to write a code. Sometimes you can write in Python or with the help of loader, it will pick the Excel file where you have all the data, it will extract it from there and it will load it. And that is what we do in project. And that is the typical task of data engineers to create the data pipelines and load the data. But this we use when we have to store one or two records or we are doing some analysis, we want to store few records. So you should know this technique as well. Hope this is clear.
Okay, sir.
Okay, but good question. Okay. Now suppose the client is asking, okay, customer name, location, then will show me gender as well. I'll give comma and write gender. It means you have full freedom here. Whatever columns you want to display, you keep those columns and select, it will be displayed. Even you can swap it here. That's allowed. If I'm telling you can swap it, it means like suppose your client is telling to display location first and then customer name and then gender. So you can keep location first, customer name and then gender, your wish. So see, select is your playground. You can do there whatever you want. There is no restriction on it. Hope it is clear. Right? Okay. Now, suppose your client is telling, okay, let me insert few more records. So I want more record. Now, suppose the client is telling me, okay, now we have 3 records. Let me show you that. Okay, we have 3 records, right? And suppose the client is telling me, Tanveer, show me only those records where the gender is male. Okay, understood the question? Client is asking, Tanveer, show me only those records where the gender is male. Which means we have to filter the data. Okay. So whenever you have to filter the data, we have a where keyword. If you will use where, the SQL engine will understand the user wants to filter the data. Is this point clear? Right?
Yes.
You have to understand the meaning of each and every keyword. Okay. Now, on which column you want to apply filter?
Gender.
Gender,
Gender.
right? And what value you want to filter? Male. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So now, see, I'm executing it. Is this the correct output? I'm getting only male, right?
Yes.
Yes.
See, that's why SQL is very much needed these days. You could see here, like with the help of SQL, we store data, we created a table, we can display data, we can apply filter, right? Because any company, they want to understand how the company is performing and how they can understand. They can understand with the help of the business data only, right? But that is why the demand for data analysts is like anything these days in IT industry, because data analysts are the one who can share the reports, how the business is performing, what was the growth, the profit has increased or decreased, in which department it has increased, in which location it has increased, by what percentage it has increased or decreased, right? So that the stakeholders can take decisions accordingly, right? I hope it is clear so far, right?
Yeah, Tanvir.
Yeah.
As you was talking about data analytics, so I
Hmm.
want to know one more thing. Like, what is the difference between data analytics and data analyst and business analytics?
Okay. Data analytics and the business analyst. See, first of all, let's try to understand why we have this role, business analyst. Earlier in any project, we have a developer, okay, and the client, okay. So client will tell the requirement, okay, what exactly they want the developers to develop or code or the product which they have to design, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes what happens, like suppose I'm from the finance background, okay, I have the knowledge about the finance world. But suppose now someone from a hospital, let's say Medanta Hospital or Fortis Hospital,
Mm-hmm.
someone approached me and they told, okay, Tanveer, can you develop this product for me? Okay. But suppose I don't have knowledge about the life sciences or the medical science. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be a little bit difficult for me to understand even the basic medical terms, no? Do you agree
Yeah,
or not? है ना?
yeah.
थोड़ा मेरे को दिक्कत तो होगा समझने में यार, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I suppose I have to work for mechanical field, so it will be difficult for me to understand even the basic terms of mechanical. right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
suppose if I will tell you transfer pricing fees. There's a concept in finance world, transfer pricing fees. If you're not from the finance world, you will get confused. कि अरे भाई ये क्या है, right? है ना?
Uh-huh.
So so the challenge was the developers, they struggle to understand what the client is asking. Okay. So that is why that has given birth to this business analyst job profile. So business analysts, they are like a bridge between the developers and the client.
Okay.
And that is why the business analysts are the one who should know about the details about the domain, about the business.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever client is asking, whatever is their requirement, so the
Mm-hmm.
business analyst can understand in a better way because they know the business, they know the domain. That is why if you go for the business analyst job profile, they will ask you about the domain, about the business, right?
Right.
So the business analysts are like a bridge between the developers and the clients. So the client will tell to the business analyst, okay, I want this product, I have this requirement. So the business analyst has to document it, and that is known as FRD, functional requirement document. In few projects, which is also known as SRS,
This
a
is
system
really.
requirement specification. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then business analysts will circulate it to developers, testers, or architect. Okay, bhai, this is the requirement of client. Client की requirement है.
Mm-hmm.
तो ये समझ में आया business analyst को?
Right. Actually, I'm working as a business analyst from 2 years,
Oh,
and I prepare these
right.
documents, FRD, SRS, and all. But
Hmm.
I'm not getting, what is the difference in business analytics and a data analyst.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Data analyst में मैं आ रहा हूँ. Business analyst तो समझ में आ गया ना? This is clear now to everyone why we have this role business analyst, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
we have gathered the
So
requirement.
in a layman term, I can tell like business analyst acts as a bridge between
Bridge.
client and the developers. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is why if you're going for the business analyst role, you have to be very strong in communication, documentation, presentation. Okay.
Yeah.
But nowadays they're looking for the business analyst. They should know about the basics of SQL and Python as well. Okay. Now coming to the data analyst.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose take example of my academy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a data analyst course. We have a separate course for SQL, Python, Power BI, Advanced Excel. Then we have course for the students of class 6 till 10. Then we have a separate batch for the school going students, Python and SQL.
Mm-hmm.
So we are running a lot of courses, a lot of batches. We have a lot of trainers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the transactions are happening in multiple currencies. So do you think it is possible for me alone to understand how much revenue we earned, what is the profit, how much salary we have given, how much taxes we have paid, how much we have paid for the license? It's difficult for me alone to manage all those things, right?
Right.
So that is why the business, they're looking for the data analyst, so that they will ask the data analyst, okay, suppose if I'm working, or suppose Nikhil, you're working as a data analyst for my organization. Okay, so I will ask you, hey, Nikhil, give me the total revenue we earned in the last quarter of 2024. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe then I can ask you, okay, Nikhil, give me, compare the total revenue of 2023 and 2024. Nikhil, tell me uh, the highest revenue which I earned from the SQL, from which batch? How many students attended in a particular batch? How much we earned from it, right? So if I need all this data to understand how my business is performing, I need someone who can extract data as per my requirement, right? So
Okay.
this is the task of a data analyst. Based on the requirement of client, he has to write queries, he have to prepare a report, and he has to show that. And that is for data analysts. You have to be strong in SQL, you have to be strong in Python, you have to be strong in Power BI, you have to be strong in Advanced Excel. I hope this is
Advanced.
clear now.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. But for business analysts, you should know SQL,
Mm-hmm.
Power BI,
Mm-hmm.
and Advanced Excel. If you know basics of Python, it's well and good, but it's not that much mandatory. Hope I answered your question.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Although we distracted a little bit, but I hope you guys will not mind it. And I think this will help everyone to understand the difference between business analyst and data analyst. Okay. So now the question is, okay, I executed this query and I got this output, right? But the question is, how at the back end SQL engine is fetching this data, right? है ना? ये एक magic है. I clicked on it, I got the data of mail. But you must be thinking, Tanvir, at the back end, what is happening here, right? Again, and this is what you have to learn in this course. If I'm executing a query, the output to what you're getting. So how at the backend engine is executing, that is what you have to understand. Okay. Otherwise, it's बहुत simple है. यदि query चला दिया, ये output आ गया, चलो ठीक है. But the question is how it's getting executed, right? So for that, we have to understand this SQL order of execution. Okay. The SQL order of execution says, if first of all, from is executed. I know you'll be surprised, Tanvir, you have written select first. I know I've written select first, but when the engine will execute the query, it will start with from. Is this point clear? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So in this query, it will start with the from keyword. So in from, what you have written, from Amazon, which means you're telling to the SQL engine, okay, I want data from the Amazon table. So then it will search in the database, where is Amazon table? Where is Amazon table? तो वो ढूंढ के निकालेगा, अरे ये Amazon table है. It means the user is looking for data from this table. It will search the Amazon table in the entire database. It will take a copy of it and it will paste it in the temporary memory. Is this clear? Are you clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. यहाँ तक clear सबको? दिशा, स्वप्नली, निखिल,
हाँ.
गौतम.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, good. So from task is over, then we have this where keyword. So now the where will be executed. Now, what's the task of where? The task of where is to filter the data. The moment engine will see, okay, this is where, the engine will understand, okay, oh, I have to filter the data. But on which column? Gender. So engine will highlight here, okay, this is the column on which we have to filter the data. Then which value? Male. So it means you have to filter male. So now the engine will start searching male in this column. It will start with the first record. Is this male? Yes. You're searching for male. This is male. So this particular record will be selected. Is this point clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
But I have a question now for you, and I want everyone to think over it. Take your time and then reply. Okay. The question is, we are searching for male, and this is purely a coincidence that we found it in the first record itself. So do you think engine will search the next set of records for the male word, or it will stop here itself because you found it what you were searching? What is your thought?
It will search throughout the
So
data,
next step.
throughout the table.
Okay. Any other thought?
We didn't command it for a look into the entire column, I think.
So you're searching for mail, you found it here, but engine will not stop here. A very important point. Even if you have 1 million records, it has to search all the 1 million records. The reason is there are chances you will be having other customers with the gender male. Got it? So that's why engine will not stop here. It will keep on searching. So the next record, this is female, but you're searching for male. So this record will be selected or rejected.
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 Rejected. Because you're searching for male and this is female, so this will be rejected. What about this?
Rejected.
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 Got it? Then select will come into picture. So we have select here, then select will come into picture. Now, what is the task of select? What I told you?
Display.
To display. So after select, you have written a star. What is the meaning of a star?
All
All.
fields.
All the columns. Yeah, you can tell all the fields. So when the engine will see the select a star, engine will understand, oh, I have to display all the columns, including the selected records. So it will copy all the columns, including the selected records. And finally, this will be displayed at the output. And that's what you're getting here. Is this point clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is how your query is executed at the backend, and that is why this is known as formula of SQL, also known as SQL order of execution. How at the backend, SQL engine executes your query. Okay. Now, similarly, suppose a client is asking, okay, then will show me the records, show me the customers who are from Bangalore. So can you tell me on which column you will apply filter now?
The
Location.
location equals to
Location. Where location
colon
equals.
Bangalore.
Is this clear now?
Yes.
Okay. So similarly, you can apply filter on any column wherever you want. If they're asking to apply filter on customer name, they want to see the history of a particular customer. So this is how, no, like when you have some inquiry, so you will call the Amazon customer care and they will check your details. So this is how they will enter the detail at the back end, and that will give you the details of a particular customer. Okay. I hope this is clear.
Yes, Tanvi. So,
Yes.
Tanvi,
Yes.
since
Yes.
you're on the same example, I would also like to know, like we also have a query where the location is not Bangalore. So if we do not,
Yeah, we have those examples. Let me cover right now. So suppose same thing, like the client is telling you, no, don't show me a Bangalore location data. Apart from Bangalore, whatever locations you have, you show me that. And you see, this is the typical task of a data analyst. And that is why data analyst has to be strong in communication and presentation, because you are the one who will be working very close with the client. And client will ask you, yeah, I need this data. I need that data. Prepare this report. If you're not strong in SQL, so how you can fetch those data, right? Now, suppose a client is telling, don't show me the Bangalore data. Apart from Bangalore, whatever locations you have, you show me that. So then you can use this keyword, this, which means not equal to. It means you're telling, don't show me the Bangalore records. Now see, if I will execute it, except Bangalore, you're getting all the records.
Yes.
Got it? There is one more symbol for it. You can also write this one. Okay, this is also not equal to. Okay. Hope this is clear. You can also apply filter on amount. Okay, like suppose the client is telling, then we show me all the transactions or the records where the transaction amount was greater than 20,000. So you can write where amount greater than 20,000. Okay. So now check the data. You're getting all the records where it is greater than 20,000. If they're asking show me less than 20,000, you can write here less than 20,000. We'll show you less than 20,000. Hope this is clear. Makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question, anyone? Okay. So fine then, I will stop here. It was more of a demo session today. I have explained you the class timings in the format. It will be Saturday, Sunday, 3 to 4:30. I know it's a little bit odd time, but I was not having any other bandwidth. So we'll take the class at this time and duration will be 2 months. And those who have enrolled for the data analytics course or data analyst course, so we'll start with SQL, and once the SQL is over, then we will add you in the Python, then Power BI and advanced Excel. Those who are in the SQL course only. So yeah, this is the format. Okay. After the class, we'll share the recording, classroom notes. Find it. Any question, anyone? All good?
How do we process the payment? And like it's a lame question, but would we get any certification? I know it's more of a
certification will be provided at the end of the course, but for certification, okay, let me tell you about the fees structure. Course fees is 4,000 for SQL only, and those who are for the data analyst course, it is 12,000. It includes SQL, Python, Power BI, Advanced Excel, SQL workshop, data analytics workshop, ETL workshop, and then resume preparation and mock interview. This all includes in 12,000. Those who are going for SQL, you have to pay 4,000. This is for SQL only. Now, for certification, we charge a very minimum amount of 100 rupees. The reason is we manually sign on the signature. Okay. And then we have a dedicated team. So we will manually write your name and all those things, because in the digital certification, what happens? Sometimes it gets copied. Okay. So for that, those who are interested, once the course is over, they have to pay 100 rupees for that. And if you're interested to enroll for the course, so you can make payment here. Okay. I think these details are mentioned in the generic group. Okay. I think I covered now each and everything. And the recording will be shared after each and every class, assignments, classroom notes, everything. And the recording will be, means you'll be having access to a recording for the next 2 years once the course is over. Suppose the course is over by end of June, then 2027 June, you'll be having access to recordings. Okay.
So Tanvir, like
Hmm.
once 2 year complete, we can't access
Yeah.
this recording.
Actually, what happens now? We are storing all those things on Google Drive. Okay, and like for storage, we have to pay. So for that, we have limited this for 2 years. But if you want to continue after 2 years, so for that, maybe like minimum some amount, 300-400 or something. Maybe we can discuss at a later point of time that you have to pay. But I think 2 years will be sufficient. Okay, and one more thing, like sometimes it happens, you paid the amount and because of some reason you didn't continue, and then you're asking, can we shift me in a new batch? So we don't allow. But if you have some valid reason and if you want to switch, then in that case you have to pay 1,500 additional for switching the batch. Why I'm telling this? Please, those who have joined, be regular. Okay, don't don't think of that second option. Okay. Okay. I think I covered each and everything. I told you all the format. Still, you have any question? Anya?
What is the duration of data analyst course?
Data analyst course will be for 5 to 6 months. Okay. And assignments will be shared on a daily basis. Let me show you that assignment as well. So, in assignment, we will be sharing you 2 copies. Like this is the assignment. Suppose if I'm sharing your assignment on count, so it will be shared with you. But so this will be having only questions, and then we will share one more copy, which will be having questions as well as solutions. But we strongly recommend when you're working on assignments, don't look into the solution. While you're sharing solution, if you're getting stuck, then you can look into the solution. But suppose still if it is not clear, you have full freedom. You can ask during the class. Okay. Hope this is clear. Any other question? Please ask if you have any question, if I missed something. Okay, so fine then. We'll share the recording in another half an hour or 1 hour. And we'll connect tomorrow at the same time. Those who are interested, they can connect with us. Okay, so this is my number. And I think most of you are in the generic group. You can connect with us. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.